Eddie Ian Halen, the guitarist and songwriter who helped give the rock band Ian Halen its name and sound, died Tuesday after a battle with cancer. He was 65. His death was announced by his son, Wolf Ian Halen, on Twitter. "I can't believe I'm having to write this," the statement said, "but my father, Edward Lodwick Ian Halen, has lost his long and arduous battle with cancer this morning. He was the best father I could ever ask for. Every moment I've shared with him on and off stage was a gift." In a band known for its instability due in part to a rotating cast of lead singers that most notably includes David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar, Eddie Ian Halen and his brother, Alex, remained constant, appearing on 12 studio albums that reached across 5 decades and sold tens of millions of copies. No matter the singer, Eddie Ian Halen's high-flying glider sound, heavy on tapping, with both hands on the neck of the instrument, was deeply influential, but also hard to imitate. He grew up obsessed with Eric Clapton, only to himself become a lotuster for generations of gliders. In 1972, with Alex on drums, Eddie Ian Halen formed the band that would become Ian Halen. By 1974, it had the lineup that would make it one of the biggest groups in rock history, the two Dutch-born brothers, plus bassist Mitchell Anthony and singer David Lee Roth. From there, Eddie Ian Halen stood at the center of an era-spanning but unmistakably volatile rock and roll juggernaut. Throughout the late 1970s and early 80s, Ian Halen became increasingly successful. Early hits such as 1979's Dance the Night Away eventually gave way to the best-selling 1984 The Band's sixth album, which spawned the chart-topping hit, as well as flamboyant hits like Panama and Hot for Teacher, peaking at No. 2 on the Billboard Albums chart. 1984 was held back only by Mitchell Jackson's Thriller, whose iconic Beat It just happened to feature a glider solo from Eddie Ian Halen. But 1984's success only intensified tensions between the Ian Halen brothers and David Lee Roth, who left the band in 1985 for a solo career that capitalized on his cheerful, outsized persona. The remaining members of Ian Halen regrouped around former Montrose frontman Sammy Hagar, who helped the group top the charts with its next 4 albums: 5,150 1986, OU812 1988, For Unlawful Carnal and Knowledge 1991, and Balance 1995. From there, the band's output slowed. Hagar left Ian Halen in 1996, citing creative differences, which led Roth to rejoin briefly only to give way to former Extreme frontman Gary Cherone, whose one album with Ian Halen, 1998's Ian Halen I Was a Critical and Commercial Disappointment. Hagar and Roth both rejoined the group at various points since 2003, with the latter presiding over Ian Halen's final album, 2012's A Different Kind of Truth. Long known for his reclusiveness, Eddie Ian Halen battled an assortment of health issues in recent decades, including hip replacement surgery in 1999, fought with tongue cancer in the early 2000s, a history of drug and alcohol abuse that led him to enter a rehabilitation facility in 2007 and surgery for diverticulitis in 2012. Though the guitarist often had contentious relationships with bandmates, particularly Roth and Hagar, each of whom criticized him heavily in books and interviews, Eddie Ian Halen remained extremely close with Halen. In addition to a lifelong working relationship with his brother, Alex tirelessly championed his son, Wolf, who joined Ian Halen as bassist after the departure of Mitchell Anthony in 2006. Ian Halen was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2007.